Blackhawk, you said translation over translation doesn't always work out, so you get a partial translation instead of a complete translation. We already covered this in the Bible, in Español Biblia. We used the canon of the Septuagint, which is a translation from Greek, Hebrew, and Aramaic. The particular Bible I use is the Douay Rheims, which is a direct translation from the Latin Vulgate, which St. Jerome translated directly from the Greek, Aramaic, and Hebrew translation straight to Latin, because that was the language that was spoken right at the time. We're not taking things out of context. He said for the, I gave you more than one source. Let's examine another reason why we understand that Jesus meant it literally. In 1 Corinthians chapter 11, starting with verse 23. That just says, "For I have received the Lord with that which also I delivered unto you, that the Lord Jesus, the same night in which he was betrayed, took bread, and giving thanks, broke it, and said, Take ye and eat. This is my body, which shall be delivered for you. Do this for commemoration of me." In like manner also the chalice, after he had supped, saying, This chalice is the New Testament of my blood. This do ye as often as ye shall drink, for the commemoration of me. For as often as you shall eat this bread and drink the chalice, you shall shew the death of the Lord until he comes. Then it goes on in verse 27, St. Paul says, Therefore, whoever shall eat this bread or drink the chalice of the Lord unworthily shall be guilty of the body and the blood of the Lord. So, if this was just a figurative crackers and grape juice, clearly it wouldn't make sense of St. Paul's preclude saying that whoever receives Eucharist unworthily, and then we go on in verse 29, he says, For he that eateth and drinketh unworthily, eateth and drinketh judgment to himself, not discerning the body of the Lord. Therefore, verse 30, there are many infirm and weak among you and are asleep. So he's actually telling us there are people that are sick and actually dying dead from receiving Eucharist unworthily. So clearly we can understand that the apostles and the early Christians understood what Jesus taught as literal. It was literally his body. It's literally his blood. This is why we have this discourse from St. Paul warning us not to eat of the body and drink of the blood unworthily. Also, we read in John that the Jews murmured among themselves, saying, This is a hard saying, how can this man give us his flesh to eat? And the Jews turned and walked with him no more. Now, did Jesus say, hey, wait a minute, guys, come back, I only meant it as figurative or symbolic? No. Jesus clearly meant it as literal. This is what it's been taught for over 2,000 years. This is what the apostles taught. This is how we've always understood. Hope that clears it up for you.